Hi everyone, it's January the 26th and my name is Jacqueline Snyder and I'd like to welcome you to my weekly blog video series called Let Love Speak. Today is a snowy day, a little bit cool, not as cold as it has been, and today I'm talking to you about healthy habits and why they're so important and replacing unhealthy ones with healthy ones, which is of course the goal. So today I wanted to talk to you about healthy habits, why they're so important, and how they can affect and change your life in a very all-encompassing way. So why do we spend so much time, effort, and money, as in gym memberships and things like that, on our New Year's resolutions, or in other words, changing our unhealthy habits into healthy ones? And why is it so important to us? Well, these are really good questions, and I think that a lot of people realize the importance of spending time and energy on themselves. And what they have often issues with is the following through on their resolutions. And I think the reason why, or at least one of the reasons why, is the fact that first of all, changing unhealthy habits to healthy ones is difficult. It's not an easy thing to do. But there's also the element that I think a lot of people don't anticipate, which is the fact that it takes a lot of time to do and change our unhealthy habits into healthy ones. These are commitments that we make to ourselves, that hopefully our friends and our loved ones support us on. But we have to remember that when you make these promises to yourself, you're not making them for 2 weeks. You know, you don't get in shape after 2 weeks, or 3 months, or even a year. And then once you are in shape, which you may be in great shape after a year, well, then you have to keep doing it. You can't stop, otherwise you're not in great shape anymore. Maybe you don't have to work out as hard or for as long. Maybe it's become a good habit, so it's easier because you've worked it into your daily, weekly, monthly routine. But nonetheless, you know, we have to keep in mind that making these efforts to ourselves, they don't stop at any particular point in our life. Once you've made a healthy habit and incorporate it into your life, you need to keep doing it. Now, I talked about this issue, this idea of having to keep doing our habits over our healthy habits over time in my blog at blog.thewayisLove.ca, and you can look that up if you're seeing this on YouTube or on my Facebook page at The Way Is Love. But what I talked about specifically was the fact that maybe thinking of your healthy habits in terms of a long-term goal such as saving for retirement is a really good way to see it as a parallel kind of idea in your life. You need to put away money for retiring. I think we all know this, and I think we all know that putting away money for our retirement is not a short-term thing. We all age, and we age over time, but you know, you may only be 30 right now, but when you're 60 or 65 and you want to retire, you know, you're going to have had to put away money for the last 30 years to be successful at looking after yourself when you're a senior citizen. And I think that this is the idea that you need to think of when you're thinking about how healthy habits need to be reinforced over time. Now, healthy habits being reinforced over time is important because, for example, if you have decided that you want to eat more healthfully and you want to lose weight and you want to keep that weight off, well, then you can't change your diet for a month or a year and then go back to the diet that you were on before, which wasn't a diet. You were eating too much, or you weren't eating good food, or you were not moving around enough, not being physical enough, not exercising enough. Whatever that may be, you can't revert back to your old unhealthy habits later and say, well, why didn't this work for me? You know, because it's obvious why it didn't work for you. It's because you made the decision, but you didn't stick with it. Therefore, it means you didn't take into account the fact that when you change your unhealthy habits into healthy ones, you have to do it over long term. This isn't a short-term thing. Some of them might be short-term, but most of them are long-term. I mean, really, when you think about it, is there anything that any good habits that you do over the short term? If you can think of any good habits that you do over the short term, let me know. But I think that as most people would admit and would realize, if you want to stop smoking, if you want to start exercising and get in better shape, if you want to eat less and stay slim, If you want to stop drinking or drink less, anything that you want to do that takes time isn't something that stops after a certain date and then you can revert back to the way you were before without everything reverting back to the way that you were before. I mean, if you start smoking again after 3 months, then you're a smoker again. You can't say that you're a non-smoker because you stopped smoking for 3 months and then you went back to smoking. And certainly your body isn't going to say it because it's going to know the difference. So I think that it's very important that you keep in mind that anything that you do for yourself needs to be done over time. And a lot of people are looking for a quick fix, a pill, a quick diet, a book, this and that. Quick fixes don't work. They don't work for anything. They're not worthwhile. And they're not ultimately what the world is all about. You have to think about things, you have to make a decision, and then you have to follow through physically, emotionally, psychologically, in whatever way is necessary to attain your goal. And then you keep changing your goals as time goes on to keep your habits healthy and to stay on track. Some people might be saying, well, this sounds so boring. I thought I could work out for 3 months or a year, look hot, and then never have to work out again. Well, no, that's not the way it works. And you could think of it as boring, I guess, if you're only looking for sort of a short-term buzz or short-term this and that. But if you think about being healthy and being in good shape over the long term, there's nothing boring about it at all. First of all, you'll stay in better shape, you'll feel better, you'll look better, you'll be happier, you'll be less stressed, you'll be more productive, you'll be more focused, and mentally, you'll know that you're keeping your promises to yourself and you're looking after yourself, and therefore you'll be open to a lot more things in your life because you won't feel guilty about not looking after yourself. You would be surprised how much emotional and physical energy it takes to feel guilty, to feel bad about yourself, to be disappointed in yourself because you're not keeping the promises to yourself that you set out. Ultimately, keeping the promises is way easier than not keeping them. But people don't think about that again because they think about the short term, what feels good, then not over the long term, what ultimately feels better, which is, of course, looking after yourself. So is it going to be hard? Yes. Is it going to take time? Yes. Everything takes time in life. Whether you're sitting around drinking for 3 months or you're going to the gym for 3 months, it's all time. It's just how you've chosen to spend that time. Are you going to look better if you stick to your healthy habits? Yes, absolutely. Are you going to feel better? Yes, absolutely. And is everybody going to notice it? Another yes, absolutely. And so you have a choice. It's all about you and the choices that you make for yourself in your life. Nobody else can do it for you. And so please keep in mind after you read this blog and when you listen to this video that what Wayne Gretzky said is absolutely true. You miss 100% of the shots that you never take. So think about that next time you set out to do something and take the shot. You'll miss it if you don't. Have a great week, everyone, and I will see you next week back here at Let Love Speak.